I mentioned before we started singing Cloudy Day that this was a song that our daughter Milana texted me about a month and a half ago. And she texted and said, Mom, I don't know if you're going to like this song, but every time I hear it, I think of you. And I'm like, okay. So I listen. I'm like, oh my God, I love this song. And we can sing it at VTC. Score. And so I have been listening to it, and it and all the music for November actually has been just one massive earworm for me. Just cannot get stuff out of my head. But I just love this song. It is so short and sweet with such a lovely message, so fun, so joyful. And so at the beginning, Tony Watson, the composer from the band Tones and I, writes, "Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say. But there's alive, and then there's living." And so there's a distinction here between being alive and living, between living and existing, between actively participating in our life versus just kind of coasting along and going with the flow, between being aware of what is alive in us right now versus just kind of going by what's going on around us. And so that means that the title of my talk today is, What's Alive in You Right Now? And when I was looking for a photo, I was looking, actually, Grace, for something that was joyful. Okay? Because I was thinking, what is going to actually just show like someone who is so dialed in to what is alive in them right now? And I could have gone in a different direction, but I just really, really, really wanted to focus on joy. And so this is an image that popped up. There were a few others, but I really like this one because the guy also has a heart on his t-shirt, okay? And so, yeah. So what's alive in me right now? As some of you know, I am in the 8th week of an 8-week fitness challenge. Crazy intensive, 5 days of strength training, 6 days of cardio on top of the regular training that I do with my trainer Gareth at Studio 4. And so when I first started this program, in the first few days, I'm like, this is going to be a major physical endeavor. And the thing is, when I first started it, I didn't realize there was all this cardio. I thought it was just the strength training. And then about the 3rd day in, I'm like, oh my God, there's an entire cardio component that I don't even know about, and now I have to catch up, right? And so that was a little crazy making for the first 2 weeks, but I did do it. And then at some point I was like, if I get 5 of them in a week, I'm good. I don't need all 6. But anyway, very, very quickly, I realized it wasn't just a physical thing. There was so much mental and emotional stuff going on as well, because all of these exercises are really, really hard. And all the strength stuff is brand new every single day. The cardio repeats from week to week to week to week. So now I feel like, I'm really good at some of the cardio stuff, but the strength, I don't know what's coming. What I do know is every single day we start off with some kind of hip thrust or glute bridges or something, because it's all about the butt. And so very early on, I realized that in order for me to get through this physical challenge, I was also going to have to focus on some mental and emotional awareness in order to get through all of this stuff, because it was really, really hard. It was really challenging. And so what has happened over the course of the last 7.5 weeks is there have been numerous insights and so many physical gains that I am so excited about, because I am realizing for the first time in my life, like how incredibly strong I am, how this body, what it is capable of. And I have been surprised again and again and again, especially over the last 3 weeks or so, of the stuff that I can actually do, that I can actually lift, that I can pull or whatever at the gym. And I marvel at what the human body can do when we actually focus our attention on supporting it and being able to do that. And so I caught myself in the mirror yesterday. I caught myself in the mirror today as I was on my way to the gym, when I was in my leggings, my workout clothes. And I had to stop, because I'm like, are those actually my legs? It was like, my legs have never looked like that. Not at least since I was a dancer, when I was in my teenage years. And so I was just standing there. I had to take a photo and I had to post it in the group, and then I had to post, this, because that's also getting really nice and plump and peachy. And it was such a joy for me to really, really notice that all of this super crazy hard work, this intensity, this tenacity, this fortitude, that all of it is paying off and actually showing up, like in looking the way that I feel on the inside. Because that's been one of my things for most of my life, is I have never, ever, ever in my life felt like I looked on the outside as strong and as fit as I felt on the inside. Glenn was watching Terminator 2 over the weekend, and I saw Linda Hamilton, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember thinking 34 years ago when that movie came out, I want to be as ripped as she is in that movie. Like, she was crazy fit. And it turns out that she is crazy fit once again at 62, because apparently she's going to be in the next season of Stranger Things. And whatever her character is, she had to get back into that same shape that she was in for Terminator 2. And so I noticed that for 34 years, on and off, I've been thinking, I want to look like Linda Hamilton. I want to look that fit. For 34, that's more than half of my life. And finally, with this program, and then the stuff that we're doing at the gym with my trainer to support me and like moving through this program, I am actually feeling like it's happening. And that to me is super, super exciting. So that is so alive in me right now. And so that is so in tune with our affirmation for the month, which is, with openness and curiosity, I notice what's alive in me right now. Now, here's the thing. When I first noticed my legs in the mirror and went, whoa, are those actually my legs? Almost immediately, I went, well, but that's what I look like in clothes. Like underneath, there's some saggy skin, there's some cellulite, there's some stuff that I don't like about my body. And then I'm like, but wait a minute, but underneath that, there is this energy, there is this power, there is this dynamism, there is this aliveness that is alive in every single one of us all the time. And when we focus on that, rather than the stuff that maybe we don't like about ourselves, that we don't appreciate, that we have a hard time with, then that energy, that dynamism, that vitality is what ends up running the show. And that's what I feel like I have really, really, really begun to notice over these last 7.5 weeks with this crazy intensive training program. And it's super exciting because I have never liked my body, ever, even when I was a ballerina. Never, right? That's like 57 years of not liking this skin that I'm in. But finally, it's like, yes. So with the affirmation about noticing what's alive in me right now, it's not just about noticing how am I feeling or what's happening or what am I thinking. It's about noticing that there is something behind those feelings. There is something behind those thoughts. That's the thing that we want to notice. We want to remember that no matter what is going on, cloudy day in the song, that the sun, which is the truth of who we are, it's always, always there. And we always get to consciously choose, is that what I'm going to focus on? Or am I going to focus on the weather? Right? So, noticing what is alive in you from one now moment to the next, it's an act of consciousness by consciousness. Because consciousness is everything, right? Everything. But there's also little c consciousness, which is awareness, right? And when we are aware, then that's when we notice. And when we're noticing, then we can shift. We can change our mind. We can open our heart more. We can shift the direction of our thoughts, of our energy completely. It is about expressing versus simply experiencing. It is about living as versus just living from. So when we go back to the song and the chorus is, but your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, that's more than just a platitude. It's more than just, hey, look to the positive. This is about really remembering who and what we are. That power that is the power of the blazing sun, that is every twinkling star in the sky, that holds all the planets in orbit so they don't crash into each other, that keeps us on this planet so we don't go flying out into space. The intuitive wisdom that is always, always making its way forward, the little nudges, the slaps upside the head, all of that is this incredible, amazing, divine, energetic flow that is who and what we are at our core. That's the sun that we get to focus on even the cloudiest of days. So my question to you is, what's alive in you right now? Are you getting caught up in the weather? Or are you trusting that no matter what, the sun is indeed shining and guiding you into a more brilliant way of being? Thank you, and so it is.